idemo, Rijeko mi te volimo.
Dobar dan, good morning. Next match, yes, Dinamo, a big match, very important match for us. We want to fight for every point that is in the challenge every weekend or every match day, and we are preparing ourselves to, as always, analyzing our opponent that is the best in the league. They are showing very, very solid performance, very consistent. It's nothing that I have to discover now. They are doing very good for a long time. I repeat my words when we play against them last match here in Rijeka, that since last year that I was following Croatian League, this is, in my opinion, best Dinamo I have seen. And for us, this is a challenge. It's an opportunity to make something that nobody has been able to do at this moment, that is to win Dinamo and to make a very competitive match. So we need our best face, our best performance, and we have this motivation. We have some good hopes because we have been the only team in 2026 that has been able to compete in a very good level against Dinamo, the match we did here in Rijeka, and this is also a good point for us. But this match is going to be different. Also, it's something that we don't like to have to talk about, but injuries this week has made a big impact in our squad. We lost Theo for a long time. I saw my concern at the end of the last match, not only for the bad performance and the defeat, that the most important for us is the health of the players, and was not very, very positive thinking about the potential injury of Theo. Unfortunately, the results of the test were the worst as possible, and now we have to support him in his process to recover. Then also we have the injury of Tony that we were expecting that was going to be a simple issue, but after the medical test they have done during this week, we cannot count on him for few matches. This is for the moment the information we have from the medical, but now we have to see the process of recovery. But he has also an quite important injury because of the hit he got in his back, and then he will be out of the following matches. This is the information I have from doctor. So not good news. Also, we have Vignato in this process of recovery that he still is not training with the team. But as always, the battles in the pitch are to be focused with the players that they are ready to fight. So this is what we are doing, how we are focusing, and this is in the moment that we are now.
Coach,
hello. Despite these injuries, you showed in the past time that you have a lot of players on bench that are waiting their chance.
When I made changes, you criticize me because I made changes. So I don't want to come into this debate now. I try to put always the best players. I have said we don't think in the players that they are not. It's unfortunately unlucky for us that we cannot count on key players for us like Tony, like Theo, like Vignato. But we can't do anything about this. We have to focus on the players that we have. As you mentioned, this is what we are doing.
This game is interesting if we look the cup final game, or it's too long until that game.
Now we are just thinking in the league game. Cup final will be in the moment that will be. So we only can be focusing this match. We won the 3 points. It's going to be very difficult because nobody is being able now to compete face to face to Dinamo. We will try our best, and we have the hopes that we have the potential capacity to do it as we did here in Rijeka. So we will try our best, and this is what only is in our minds, the league match.
Traditionally, Zagreb journalists are trying to move one of your players to Dinamo for next season. Is this disturbing you?
What? Sorry?
Traditionally, Zagreb journalists are trying to move one of your players to Zagreb for next season.
Which player?
Radelic.
Okay, I don't know about that, but this is market. Football is also, we are used to live in this environment when these kind of rumors or operations are there. For us, nothing changed.
Hi, Victor. It is not that you just proved in Rijeka that you can play against Dinamo very well. You proved it in Zagreb, but there was very bad refereeing. Is refereeing something you think about or you refuse to think because there is no way you can condition that?
I come back to my words after the match we play against Dinamo in Maximir. I remember that there were 2 points of my analysis. First one was that we didn't win that game because of our mistakes, not because of any referee decision. So I point to the lack in our precision in the final third. We create very good chances. We were very dominant for many minutes in the match. We were able to surround the opponent's box and we create very good chances, but we didn't finally score the chances we created. So that was the main reason for me why we don't get the good result. Then also I made my point about the referee, that he, in my opinion, he made big mistakes about the different criteria he was using to measure different actions for both teams. But I didn't blame to the referee about the result. I always respect the referees, but also I show my concern about the most important for me, that if you read the rules of football, the first of all that is written is that all the rules are fixed to fight for a football fair and safety. So this is every rule and every decision for the referees has to respect this principle, to make football fair and safety. So kind of actions that they are very dangerous for the health of the players. We are suffering in the last matches these kind of actions. They are not whistling according to the rules. And this is my concern. Why this criteria with us? And then this is the part of be fair. Also to show the same criteria when they decide what is foul, what is not foul, what is yellow card, what is not yellow card, when you come with the bar, when you don't come with the bar. I say also this in other matches that I was unhappy with the mistakes from referee, but never pointing to the result. Never pointing to the result. Always showing that referees are humans and they have a job that is very difficult, that they have to make the interpretation of the rules. Many of the rules of football are written to create the interpretation of the referee. We are always in the debate about the decision, what is penalty, what is not penalty, what is handball, what is not handball, what is yellow, red, VAR, not VAR. But we don't come into, in my opinion, more interesting debate that how the rules are written, if we can improve how they are written to help the referees in the very difficult job they have. Because the most of the rules, they have to make an interpretation of the action. So then it's very difficult for the referees to be always 100% same criteria. I understand this because every one of us, we have different criteria, we see the same action. This is the point. But we complain what we want all the coaches, all the presidents, all the players is that this range of mistakes are in a reasonable gap, not from the day to the night. When this happens, we get angry. But when you see this gap that normally, okay, there are the decisions more or less in this range. This is the best referees. When they have the criteria and they are showing the criteria always more or less in this gap. And this is balance. But there are some moments and matches that is very different criteria. And this is my concern. But I always show my respect about referees. It's very difficult and I always make the same example. Any one of you that wants to check what is referee, I invite you to come for one training, 5 against 5 players in a small space. Just this, not 11 against 11 in big spaces. 5 against 5. How difficult it is. In the trainings, we have many issues always. The coaches with the actions, with the players, 5 against 5 in a small space that you can check and you can control everything from short distances. Imagine in big spaces. But again, and to finish, my answer to your question is not about referees, it's about us. Our performance depends on us. My main concern is to score goals. That is, I have said this from the very beginning of my days here. I had very clear the picture and it's repeating the same pattern. In football, there are always mistakes and we work trying to learn from our mistakes. Now we come from this week European competition. We have been in Champions League, big mistakes in big clubs, in big players. Best goalkeepers making mistakes in the first minutes, top players making mistakes in the first minutes that create goals against. That is part of football. But
and
the
also referees making
also
mistakes in Champions
yes,
League.
okay. Which we can go into this debate.
No. I'm just noticing
But
that.
my point is about how important it is in football to take advantage of the mistakes. And then to take advantage of the mistakes, there is the quality. And also the other part, that is what depends more on you. When you create chances and you don't score goals, you pay the bill. to win, you need to avoid mistakes, and then you need to score goals. Because if you don't score goals, the most you can get is a draw. And this is my analysis from the beginning, and this is what we are trying to improve during the whole season. The main subject in our trainings is finishings, precision in the crosses, and final third shootings. But we are missing a lot of chances, and this is my main concern.
Radejic also said that Rijeka in the last period concedes goals too early and needs too many chances to score. What is it? What is the reason? Quality of the players or lack of concentration?
We can go to analyze every action, but we are done with this analysis. It's the same. We make here in this room every match analysis to see the mistake we have done. We have the pattern from the most of them. We are making individual mistakes, and it's not to point to any player. It's because at the end, one day is one, other day is the other. There are technical actions that there are mistakes. For example, I explained then two different kind of mistakes: lack of attitude or lack of execution. Lack of execution we accept. Also because I won't break players. I never am gonna point to one player that make a mistake in a pass, trying to make something that we are turning. For example, the first goal we conceded against Osijek last day. This is something that can happen. It's a bad decision. It's not the pass we want to make in the situation. We have to recognize the situation that this is not the player we have to target to make the pass because under pressing, we have to find the free player and we make the wrong decision. But this is something that we are training and we are trying, and this is not a lack of any attitude. So I also say, okay, we are brave and we have to continue doing that, but we have to be better learning to find the free player, not to give the ball to the player that is under pressure. That's, for example, coming back to the last game. If we compare also with the game against Osijek, when we lost 1-0, that you criticized me because I made a lot of rotation, a lot of changes, and we conceded just a goal more for lack of attention because there were free players in the box. We were numerical advantage, and under across there was a second action, and they beat us in the second action. This is another kind of mistake that is more linked with the attitude, because focus is a matter of attitude. But it's not that the player doesn't want, it's that the players lose the attention in some moment, and this is something also that you have to work during the trainings, and we are working. But everything is linking at the end with the skills of the players. And the responsibility for me as a coach, for my staff, is to try to improve the players in all their skills. And I see the players, they are improving, but when you go to the competition, everyone make mistakes. We are not the only ones. And I come back again to the example now in Champions League matches this week. Top players, top teams, they also make mistakes. They concede goals. Then when you make the mistake and you concede the goal, what you have to do? To overcome by scoring more goals than the opponent. That's all. And then we go to do this, but we are missing the chances. So this is the two parties. And they both are linked with the skills of the players in these actions, because we are training to improve.
Regardless of the final result, do you expect a very interesting game for every single viewer? Doesn't matter if it's Rijeka fan or Dinamo fan, because we will have two teams that both want to play football and have quality players in their teams.
Sorry, because I didn't catch you. Can you repeat me the question, please?
Do you expect, considering the fact that both teams have quality players and both teams have like to propose their way of football, play attacking, do you expect that it will be very interesting and a high quality game?
Considering that the both teams, they are quality teams, so now I don't like to make this subjective kind of analysis. What is objective is that Dinamo is the best team. If you check the stats, there is no any discussion. So the teams that we are far away for Dinamo in terms of points, in terms of goals scored, in terms of chances created, you can check the number of goals the offensive players they have. This is quality. So then if we make comparison between Dinamo and the others, there is big gap in quality. So I cannot catch your question like in the meaning I was understanding that both teams, we have the quality. So for me, there is big difference of quality. But this is football. And the same gap of quality we had when we played against them in Maximer, and we made very good match, and we were close to win. The same gap there was when we play here in Rijeka against them and we draw 0-0. And we avoid their huge capacity they have to create goals. And we avoid because we made the clean sheet. So this is good for us and this is a credit for our players capacity, our players quality. And then now we go with the same aim, with the same mentality and the same positive thinking that we are able to make a good team for sure. And we hope that the match, we can make a good match. And this is our thinking, to make a quality match because we need a quality match. We need to make the best of us. We need a lot of precision in our actions to beat Dinamo. And we hope we are going to have good afternoon in these terms.
Gospodin Babić, koliko ulaznica smo dobili?
Provjerit ćemo još. Dobro, bit će dovoljno ulaznica za sve.
Idemo, Rijeko mi te volimo.